You're now experiencing the Gretna Bill Show.
Hello, Selene Yeager. Welcome to the Gretna Bill Show.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on, Dave. So, yeah, you pretty jazzed about tomorrow? This seems like a great event here.
It is amazing. This is the second year, you know, and last year we were super excited that 300 people came out and had a great time, and now like it's more than doubled, almost tripled, and it's just I love that the town has fully embraced it. You know, like after last year they totally got it, and they're like, what can we do? We'll move our festival, and there's the woolly worm petting zoo and all this stuff, and it's awesome.
It's interesting to see the local businesses play here along with the bike stuff, which is cool. I mean,
it is cool.
It melds things together, and you know, we've talked about this before with other people. The economic benefit of having 950 people coming to run, and you're not coming by yourself, so there's probably 2,000 to 3,000 people here this weekend, if not more. You know, supporting a small town that, you know, is on fall break, and you know, the business is going to be busy right now.
Totally. Having it in a place like this incentivizes people to bring their family, because I've done races where there's nothing.
Right.
You know, like nothing. Like I'm like, don't come, you're going to be miserable. So it's really great to have
like the infrastructure.
Totally. I mean, if you're going to be gone all day if you're doing the 120, and your family actually does have something to do. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, and it'll all be done, this boost to commerce, and everybody has fun, done without any buildup of infrastructure. The stuff's already here.
Yeah,
the roads,
right.
the gravel roads especially.
Yeah,
right on. So, also, you are here to introduce your new book.
Yeah, what's that?
What's that all about?
Gravel!
Yes, perfect. I love it. Gravel!
Well, I have the book before this was Climb. You know, it's all about climbing, so we just called this one Gravel. You know, it's funny, like, I do a lot of these events, and as you know, they're so different. Like the Middle Creek is so different from this event, and like somebody turned to me at that event and at Keystone Gravel the year before, and they're like, "Is this gravel race?" You know, they were very confused.
Exactly.
And I'm like, "Well, it's kind of sort of gravel, you know, but it's a different." So I'm like, I think there's just a need for that, like a little bit of a primer. Like, this is what everyone's talking about. This is what it can look like. This is the gear that will make you happier on it. You know, it's just kind of soup to nuts of that, and then it's got a 200-mile training plan. You know, for like if you want to go all in the back of the book. There's a. You know.
So how long does it take to write something like that?
It took. They wanted it faster than I wanted to do it, so it was about 5 months of very intense work. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you talk about diet and or training as part of that?
Diet insofar as nutrition.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's funny, one of the things that does people in on gravel, even especially when they're coming, not as much from mountain bike, but coming from dirt, is they don't realize how much more energy they're burning. Like, it's a lot more work. I mean, you pedal a harder gear, you're just burning more, and people get they get burned that way. You know,
we talk about that when we ride a lot, and you know, they'll start yelling out like time to be eaten, because you don't necessarily feel like you need anything at that moment.
Until you do.
Until you do, and it's too late. So, you know, sometimes you're stuffing food down your throat when you don't want to eat, and we talk about that all the time.
Oh, it does people in it like a dirty can, so it becomes very difficult. Yeah.
And then we also talked about the differences in long-term road racing and gravel racing, because another thing I'm yelling out is, like, when you get a draft, take advantage of it. When you get echelon, take advantage of it. And then when we just talked to Ted King, and which I posed the question to you, like, do you think that road tactics are going to become, or team/road tactics are going to become a new trend in gravel racing? And you had some great answers to that.
Some gravel racing, there definitely will. I mean, it's already there at Dirty Cans. It's already there. I did Steamboat Gravel in August, and it is definitely there. That was a road race on gravel roads. There was no question about it. People were in pace lines, they were working, and that's okay. I mean, I think there's room for that. I'm not a grouch about it. I know some people are like, oh, because they're supposed to be self-sufficient, but I think that they're, like this event, you won't see it so much because it's so hilly. As soon as you have a giant climb, and there's a giant climb within the first 10 miles, it doesn't matter. It's going to blow up the field. It doesn't matter. And there's just not enough flat in Pennsylvania that you're not going to be working together like that. But there will be events for sure. You're going to see that, and I do think that's okay. As long as like you can usually get the vibe going in, and you just pick what works for you. You know what I mean?
So, as the fall approaches these next few years, do you have to pick between a late season mountain bike race or a cyclocross race or a gravel race? How do you think that's going to shake out for most racers or even riders?
Well, cyclocross is definitely taking a hit. I don't know if it would have anyway, because things are so, you know, they do sort of ride these waves of popularity, but the numbers are definitely down in cross, and you know, people, the bikes. This is one of the interesting sports where I think the technology really drove the events. You know, like once disc brakes got onto it changed everything. And then like the same people who like the cross kind of fun are sort of meandering over because, as we all know, like, I mean, cross is great. I'm not dishing on cross, but it is an hour, you know, and if you're driving and all your stuff, and if you're mechanical, it's done. Whereas you can get kind of rowdy and have that kind of fun, and it's a full day of riding, you know. So it's just different.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, we talked to Mike Yozel earlier about the evolution. And he started off with a road bike, and then went to a cyclocross bike.
Yep.
And then now gravel bike is kind of a little step back to a road bike.
My gravel bike is now my road bike.
So you just have 2 sets of wheels, or
tires, really? Yeah. I mean, because
tires?
some of these, I run Schwalbe All Rounder, and they run very nicely on the pavement. So I mean, sometimes I'm just like, whatever. I'll just roll it. But I have an open upper, and that's a road bike geometry.
Okay.
You know, I feel the same way, especially when the weather and the leaves and.
You don't worry about potholes. You don't worry about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna like crack pavement. Who cares? It's a very relaxing bike to ride, and it's not slow. You know, because I like to go fast. Yeah, I like to go fast.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great, man.
So
Thanks for coming.
Where can we find the book if our viewers want to
exactly.
It will be in the usual channels. It'll be on Amazon and all that. It should be out in the next 2 weeks. There was some warehousing stuff. It was supposed to be October 15th. I'm not sure if that date is going to be still, but it definitely in the next couple of weeks.
So did you work in conjunction with Bicycling Magazine? Or?
Well, I'm a hired gun for them. Like, so I do a column for them and that kind of stuff. So.
And so you're going to do some book signing today? That's fun.
I am. I'm heading right over there now.
Right on. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And have a good day.
Thanks guys.